I'm waiting along with all those folks behind me for the next ferry to the island. Do I have to look at the name of it, try and get it right? Myajima. Yeah, Myajima. There's some interesting things to see on Myajima. And I've got a lovely look from the really helpful chap at the K's House Hostel that I'm staying at in Hiroshima, or Hiroshima, depending on your teeth. And it says here, history and tradition, blue sea, mountains and greenery, replete with attractive highlights, which sort of reminds me of how my hair used to be before it went silver. So, Myajima, here we come. Well, when the ferry gets here and that. Soon, I think. It's only a short ride. I mean, in boat terms, it's just a hop, skip and a jump. Imagine that, a hopping boat. But look, it really isn't very far at all. We'll soon be there. This island has deer on it, and they're fairly tame, and they wander about doing things like this. These fellows, we think, have some food, and so do the deer. Right, having a scratch. I don't have any food, I'm no good. This lady has a shop and she's trying to persuade this deer to go away from her shop. This deer is blind in one eye, I think, or one eye. Oh my goodness, it's one idea. Yeah, see? What do you call a deer with no eyes? No idea. What do you call a deer with one idea? One idea. Oh, I don't know. It's quite a good joke until I get hold of it. Oh, here's one with horny bits. Yes, I think this one's had its horns sawn off by the looks of it, I'd say. Or will it stop it? Oh, doing that. Oh dear.
No more sandwich.
Here's one, humans nil. I have no idea what this says, but aren't the characters extraordinary when you see them larger? Like that. Really superb. These are the names of people who've donated substantial sums to the shrine. You won't see mine up there, you'll notice. Well, I've only just come here. That really is an impressive structure. And it's designed to look as though it's somehow floating on the sea. Which it sort of does, doesn't it? I mean, we know different, us sophisticated people in this century, but it must have looked like that to people at some point. The man said I can't film it, so I have to try and describe it to you. There's a plaque up in front of me, and it's got lots of different kinds of amulets that you can buy for good fortune. They're for all kinds of things. There's traffic safety, that's 500 yen. There's a bigger traffic safety. They've got good health, recovery from illness, safe pregnancy and delivery, finding your life partner. So all kinds of very specific things that you want to happen. Successful studies, passing exams, and a kind of general good fortune. What's it? Traffic safety duct sheets, DUCT. So you buy these amulets when you come to worship and whatever you call it in Buddhism, pray, I don't know, yeah, I guess it's pray. You buy these specific little amulets for specific things that you would like to happen. So what should I wish for? Blimey. Oh, yeah, a cure for whatever it is I've got. That'd be a start, wouldn't it? This is very similar to what we saw in Myanmar and Thailand, where you shake and you get your number and then you get your horoscope kind of thing. Let's see if any of them are English, shall we? No. No. Modest island that is Myajima, have I said that? Myajima is it's got a lot of temples, disproportionate amount of temples on it, because it's a very holy place. The holiness goes back centuries, and we're now coming to the main reason I wanted to come here, because this temple's got some rather interesting things, slightly out of the ordinary. So I'll just try and show you a few of them.
The hat is, it's a respect towards the Buddha, because the Buddha, we call them ojizo. Ojizo, they are very small, infant-like, and they're infant-like because they're in their purest form. And Buddhism is in its in its infancy. There's nothing that can be weighed. So by covering their head, we protect them from from nature, from the elements. And because the Buddhas, or we should say the Ojizas, stay outside all the time, they essentially, it's Japanese way, and only in Japan, it's their way of taking care of them.
Okay. And who makes the hats?
That is a good question. I don't even know who makes the hats, but I imagine many of the monks, their wives maybe make them, but they are very old, those hats, and they're always red, because that red is not exactly a red. It's what we call a shu-iro.
Is it like the vermilion on the temple?
It is supposed to be like the vermilion on the temple, because, and then we say vermilion in English, but in Japanese we call it shu-iro, and there's a reason for that color. As well, which is a whole other story, but for the most part those are very special, and for every single living thing there is an ojizo, and those ojizo represent the very facets of Buddhist culture, esoteric Buddhism, that is.
Thank you very much. It's very kind of you.
Thank you.
Again, I'm assuming these names are the people who've donated money to the shrine. Very much like we saw throughout Burma, especially in Myitkyina. I don't know if you've seen my Myitkyina videos, my Burma videos, but yeah, that was very common there. You had individual Buddha statues about 4 foot high. Each one was paid for by a different person or family, and there were hundreds of them going out in lines across this area. Yeah, it's really something. So there's echoes, of course, of my Burma and my Thailand trips, because it's Buddhism, isn't it? Of course it is. I have no idea what this one is. It doesn't seem to fit, does it? Lots of little fortune-telling things again. Some rather and these look like the tough guys, don't they, these ones? can't remember. And there's all the lucky cats. Lucky cats, and more lucky cats over here. And I don't know who that is in the middle. I'm not sure who that is. Looks like somebody of Camberwick Green. But there we are, that's another. It's all lucky. It's all lucky. Look! Have you ever seen so many lucky cats smiling? And they'll be waving. Smaller versions of the very large statues we saw at the entrance there. Great detail. Great detail. Look at that on his costume. And the robes. Fantastic. I would say, based on what I'm seeing here, I would guess that Japanese Buddhism is much more fearsome. They've got armies. That's the face I know and like. These rather angry looking chaps. Oh, bit on the scary side. Yet more warriors. These ones look like, are they children? Women? Here are the wishes for love, long life, good fortune for us. Something in all kinds of languages here that I don't speak. And there at the feet of the reclining Buddha, it's a very, very small reclining Buddha. There's another one with an extremely long nose, a Pinocchio nose. This temple is festooned with dragons. Apparently it's good luck to give these a twirl as you go up to the temple. Just saw a couple doing it and I said, what's that? And they explained it. I said, can I film you? And they didn't speak enough English to give me consent, so I had to do it myself. So that was a reconstruction of what they did. There's a collection along here with those halo things which you often see associated with saints, don't you? So halos, again, very much like the Burmese Buddhas with all those Blackpool Buddha illuminations around their heads. So there's a tusked elephant. What is this? Well, this is an extremely Christian image. Look at the face is Caucasian, the angel wings, the sword of I don't know what, and some unfortunate down there. Oh dear. What story is this? Do you know what story this is? Perhaps you could tell me. It looks like a Christian story. Is it David and Goliath? No, David didn't have wings. I don't know. Angelic angel of sword man. With his supernatural powers, he is the most excellent disciple of Buddha. If you have a pain somewhere in your body, touch the same part of this statue, then it will cure soon. Many people love him so much that he's nicknamed Obinzuru-sama, or Touch and Cure Buddha, and his name is Binzuru Sunya, I think. Oh, this is pretty groovy. You come down into this pitch black tunnel and then you've got these icons in the wall which amazingly are showing up on the video. Look at this. So the idea is you enter darkness and then you hit the wall with your camera and then you go into the light, which is what I'm doing thanks to all these little images. I'm off into the light, or as we call it, the way out. Oh blimey, where is it? Now this is really interesting. I don't know how. I've been around about 3 or 4 walls worth so far of these really interesting little images, just faintly lit in the wall. And you're advised, the chap told me to do this, the one who told us all about the hats. He said just go down, go through the black, and eventually you'll come out. I said okay. So I'm keeping my hand on the wall. And we're out the other side. That was very interesting. Come here and do that. Come here and do that. There's the boss. There's our man. He's come to Aldershot near where I live a couple of times recently because a lot of Nepalese people live in Aldershot now. Oh, look at that. That's a bit... Oh, look at this. Magnificent. Look at this. That was a good visit, and that chap Ben who was talking about the hats, he told me lots of other stuff as well, like the statue that I thought was incongruous that Japanese people always notice because it doesn't fit. It's actually a gift apparently from the French. It's the angel Michael doing his, you know, whatever he did, stabbing people's heads with a sword to teach them a lesson. But meeting Ben was very useful. It really increased the experience, especially again going through that darkness. He told me to do that. There's no signs, you wouldn't think to do that. So thank you, Ben. Very, very good, mate. Very, very good. Look, I'm calling him mate. I've only just met him. He lives here, his wife's Japanese, he has 4 children, he's been living here 7 years, and he loves it. And he makes t-shirts and he designs things and sells them, and there are some deer. So that was a good lunch. I had soba, and soba is buckwheat noodles, and I had 3 bowls, and the noodles are cold, and one of them there was a fried egg, just mainly the yolk. The other one had some fish, some battered fish. The other one had some seafood and a kind of slimy sauce that didn't taste of much of anything, but it was there. And then also there was wasabi paste and little green spring onions. And then my pudding was shaved ice with syrup, probably sugar, a bit of condensed milk, 2 strange ball things that were they're a bit stodgy. I think they were rice balls. I didn't really fancy those. And sweetened red bean paste again. And I'm stuffed. Even though the pudding was essentially ice, I'm feeling rather full. That was quite a good meal. So that's my first soba experience, and it's very sobering. Sober. Don't know why I bother. I don't know why I bother. Do you know why I bother? Of course you don't. You're a deer.